everybody, and welcome to the weekly scopes from the 16th to the 22nd of June. Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's weekly scopes. If you've heard this before, you can skip, but this is just the intro on how I formulate these astrology weekly readings. I use astrology and my intuition to give you advice how you can practically use the knowledge of the stars and the planets and apply them to your life. So my weekly scopes are all based on GMT time and on Vedic Constellational Astrology. So now I'm just going to explain what Vedic Constellation Astrology is and how it differs from Western astrology. So the precession of the equinox is sort of like something that happens in astronomy and astrology, where the Earth's axis undergoes a slow circular motion over 26,000 years, and basically this means that this motion causes a shift in the position of the equinoxes and also the calculation Vedic and Western astrologies use. So around 2,000 years ago, the tropical and sidereal Vedic astrology signs of astrology were aligned in the same position. So if the sun was in Scorpio in Vedic astrology, it was also in the constellation of Scorpio in Western astrology. But because of the precession of the equinoxes, this has caused a gradual westward sort of like drift of the tropical western signs. So basically these signs and the western signs shift 1 degree with every 72 years. So as a result of this ongoing shift, when Western astrology says the sun is in the constellation of Pisces, it's typically in the constellation of Aquarius. Still, this is because the degree, orb and the date for Western and Vedic astrology are 24 degrees 24 days apart. So in Western astrology, the sun enters the constellation of Pisces around the 19th of February each year, but actually the sun doesn't arrive into the constellation of Pisces until the 13th to the 15th of March each year, and Vedic astrology takes this into account because it's based on the fixed star positions, and Vedic astrologers use sidereal calculations. So as a result, Vedic astrology takes into account the actual positions of the constellations in the sky at any given time, and also considers the precession of the equinox, adjusting for the shift in the position of the equinoxes over time. But in terms of Western astrology follows the tropical zodiac, which is based on the seasons rather than fixed star positions. Western astrologers also do not directly account for the precession of the equinox in their calculations as well, so this results in slightly different calculations and interpretations that are given whether we're using Western astrology or Vedic astrology. So yeah, as I said, Western astrology uses specific dates, so every year, regardless of where the sun actually is at the sky, the sun moves into Pisces around the 19th of February. So yeah, this discrepancy, this misalignment between the tropical zodiac and the actual positions of the constellations has led to a discrepancy between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. So I consider the actual where the sun and the moon are and where Mars and Venus are at any given time, and this is how I formulate these sort of like weekly scopes. So yeah, thanks for listening to this, and let's dive into this week's weekly scope. Okay, so there's no main energies affecting this week, it's just lots of different influences that breeze in and out. So yeah, on the 16th of June, the Sun makes a biquintile to Pluto at 9:02 AM and the Moon enters Libra at 8:05. So when the Sun forms a biquintile with Pluto, it allows us to be empowered, to embrace our inner strength and make positive changes in our life. So some of you may feel compelled, pushed, open to confronting your deepest fears or taking on new challenges that lead to your personal growth. Negatively, it can bring about power struggles or intense confrontations if not managed wisely. Individuals may feel a sense of inner conflict or face opposition from others during this time, so it's essential to channel the intensity of this transit into constructive outlets such as therapy, meditation or creative pursuits and expression to avoid negative manifestations. So yeah, when the moon enters Libra, it allows us and brings more harmony and balance to our emotions and our psychological expression and our spiritual expression too. So it encourages us to seek peace in our relationships within ourselves, our surroundings, and allows us to cooperate, compromise and work with others as well. So we may find ourselves more inclined to resolve conflicts peacefully and seek compromise in challenging situations. But negatively, we can be indecisive or people pleasing, superficial, gossipy as well. It can make us struggle with making firm decisions or asserting ourselves as well, or respecting our own and other people's boundaries as well. And so it's crucial that we find a balance between accommodating other people's needs, meeting other people's needs, and honouring our own boundaries and meeting our own needs as well. So overall, today's energies just allow us to, work on our relationships, work on ourselves, and on the 17th of June, Venus makes a square to Neptune at 4:46 a.m. Mercury makes a square to Neptune also at 8:41 a.m. So Mercury makes a conjunction to Venus at 1:43 a.m. p.m. at 1:43 p.m. And I still believe that Venus is still out of bounds. And remember, on my daily scopes, I go into the lengths of how long these individual aspects last, so check out the link in the description to, if you're not listening to it this, where I post the daily scopes, and check out the link in the description and check them out, because it does help us keep on tracking in the week, and I talk more about the spiritual aspects and psychological aspects and just give more tips to managing these energies. So yeah, Venus is square to Neptune allows us to be more creative, more imaginative, and we can use our sort of like imagination more in our relationships and in our hobbies as well. So if you sing, dance, write, this is a good energy for you. It helps us to have more compassion and empathy for ourselves and others as well. But negatively, it can make us ignore red flags, make us idolize situations and people, and this can lead to misunderstandings or illusions, especially in our relationships as well. So we need to sort of to navigate the complexities of this energy. We need to find a balance between being romantic in ideals and grounded in our reality as well. So some of you may feel deeply connected to your partners, and this can make you write poetry or do other nice things like date nights and just be more creative in your expressions of love, listening to music together, dancing together, creating art together, body painting, creating pottery if we want to go all ghost. And if you're too young to know what ghost is, it's a movie that people of my generation really loved, and I don't think they've done a remake of that, and I hope that they don't, because you're not beating Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore and Whoopi in that film. But yeah, so yeah, get loving with your partners. But yeah, negative of this energy, as I said, we can overlook the practical details and red flags, and this can just lead to disappointment down the line. So staying open in our communication, setting realistic expectations is what's needed right now as well. Mercury square to Neptune, again double Neptune energy, so Neptune's kind of messing with our communication and the way we express love and receive love right now as well. So positively in a way, Mercury square to Neptune allows us to be more intuitive in our thinking, gives us spiritual insights, and this energy supports us, to be self-reflective, especially maybe self-reflection, working as a couple or friends to reflect on, the good things about your relationships, the bad things about your relationships, and what you want to improve. It just sort of brings more dreamy sort of imagination to our communication at this time. But negatively, it can just make us have destructive, nebula ambiguous sort of thinking patterns. Sort of unclear thinking patterns can lead to miscommunication because we misunderstand what is meant by what is being said. Someone may say, oh, I love you, and give you sweet talk, but really just trying to get into your pants, into your knickers, love, as we say in the UK. So just watch out, just make sure, you know, again, you don't trick yourself, don't allow others to trick you, and just make sure you're hearing what's actually being said and not what you think is being said. And also, as with always with Neptune energy, as we know, it can always make us be more self-destructive, engage more in toxic behaviours and self-destructive habits, which is excessive drug and drink taking, you know, so just watch out for that, and just, you know, be gentle with yourself, because I know some of you may battle with addiction issues and stuff like that, so seek out the help that you need. And I know reality can be really, really hard to face, but do your best to do it. You may find yourself drawn to exploring more abstract concepts or engaging in deep discussions that stimulate your mind, but because we can find it hard to find mental clarity right now, we may find it hard to actually get our point across or understand what other people are saying as well. So yeah, although it can lead to innovative and out of the box thinking, but there is a risk of us getting lost in a fog of confusion if not tampered with practicality. So it's ideal to strike a balance between being creative and being logical as we navigate the energy of Mercury square to Neptune. And Mercury also makes a conjunction to Venus as well, so you know, a lot of Venus energy going on today, and Mercury as well. So anyway, yeah, so it just helps us bring more harmony and peace to our day and to our week, because it's going to last us for about the next couple of days, so we can find it helps us to get our message and emotions across more easily and express ourselves using poetry and art. It helps couples to deepen their bond and have one-to-one deep conversations and just spend loving time together, you know. But negatively, again, it adds to us idealising our partner, so you know, it's just another warning for us to stay grounded as well, to avoid misunderstandings. So finding the balance between romance and rationality can make the energies of, you know, Mercury's conjunction to Venus and Mercury square to Neptune and Venus is square to Neptune just more easier to navigate as well. So we just have to make sure that we express ourselves clearly and just be open to being open. Yeah, so yeah, on the 18th of June, the moon enters via combustion at 1:44 a.m. Mercury makes a quincunx to Pluto at 4:14 a.m. The moon enters its gibbous moon phase at 8:15 a.m. and Venus makes a quintile to Pluto at 3:13 p.m. and the moon enters void of course at 9:19 p.m. as well. So when the moon enters via combustion, this is known as a challenging area in astrology, as it brings more intensity and unpredictability to our day, but it also allows us to have a deep kind of opportunity for self-reflection and transformation. Some of you may have intense emotional, psychological, spiritual breakthroughs or confront long-standing issues with your own, you know, behaviour and thoughts, or your relationships, or even your finances, you know. So use this energy to really do the things that you've been putting off. Mercury's quincunx to Pluto allows us to, you know, sort of like, because it combines the communicative energy of Mercury and transformative power of Pluto, it can create kind of a period where miscommunication can be misinterpreted or strained. People can just be moody, aggressive in their actions and words right now, but positively, you know, it can be used to uncover hidden motivations. So working nicely with that moon entering via combustor energy, which is the 15th degrees of Libra to the 15th degrees of Scorpio. When the planet's there, it's said to be, you know, via combustion. It's called, known as the fiery way. So yeah, it can help us understand complex situations, have intellectual breakthroughs, and just have insights into our own motivations, other people's motivations and hidden desires as well. The gibbous moon encourages us to fine-tune our plans and strategies for best outcomes. So yeah, there may be pressure today, but this energy allows us to overcome them. Also allows us to review our goals and make the necessary changes we need to our lives to, get ahead. Venus's quinquats to Pluto brings the planet of love and harmony together with the transformative energy of Pluto. So it just helps us to deal with deep issues in our relationships, so supports examination and resolution of hard subjects as well. And it encourages us to explore our deep-seated desires regarding giving and receiving love, making connections with others, ending the connection, committing to relationships as well, and just allows us to understand relationship dynamics and approach them with honesty and openness as well. And it just allows us to have that transformation in matters of the heart right now, so that's good, and especially matters of self-love. So if you're single, use this energy to work on yourself and your motivations of why you are single. A lot of people are single because they want to focus on other things, being more stable in their life, which is good, that's good before they get into a love commitment. But if you're avoiding commitments because of heartbreak and stuff like that, then use this energy to try and do some healing. And what I found is, like, the only thing we can really control is ourselves. We can't control other people. We have to take people on who they show us they are rather than their potential. Doing this is better. Obviously, we have to learn, we have to have our negative experiences, and firmly, not always, not all of us. As a person who had to learn the hard way, I'm talking to other people who may have to learn the hard way as well. But ultimately, I believe that, there's someone out there for everyone, and there's people out there who genuinely love us for who we are. So we shouldn't shut ourselves off from that just because we've been hurt by others in the past. On the 19th of June, the moon enters Scorpio at 6:36 a.m. and the moon makes a quintile to Chiron at 5:09 p.m. So when the moon enters Psycho, that I'm going to leave that in. But what I meant to say, I've got Scorpio energy in my chart, but I want to leave that in because that's exactly what came out of my mouth. But yeah, when the moon enters Scorpio, we can have more intense emotions, and we can have a deeper desire for truth and transformation. It allows us to dig into the depths of our psyche and helps us to heal our emotions and psychology problems and spiritual problems as well, and be open to change, rebirth. But negatively, it can add to the power struggles of the week, excessive behaviour, and people can be more jealous under this energy if not handled consciously. So just be open to, be gentle with yourself if you do feel a bit obsessive and jealous at this moment. Ask yourself why you feel this way. Also, empower yourself if you feel other people are trying to or are actually physically overstepping your boundaries. Seek out help if people are being violent and stuff to you as well. Be gentle with yourself if you are feeling emotionally intense. So yeah, Mercury's quintile to Chiron also helps us with this healing and self-discovery. Allows us to address past wounds and have insightful conversations with others, and they can be a risk of overanalyzing sort of like situations or dwelling too much on our past as well. And the combination of the moon being in Scorpio and Mercury making a quintile to Chiron allows us to just really be open to having meaningful conversations with ourselves and others, to heal the things that we need to heal at this time as well. But we just have to watch out for being too overly analytical and emotionally cold and excessive at this time. On the 20th of June, Mercury makes a semi-sextile to Jupiter at 2:41 a.m, the Moon leaves via combustor at 10:37 a.m, and the Sun makes a square to Neptune at, what time is it? 7:13 p.m, and the summer solstice is at 9:51. So this is when the longest day and night. No, day and night are equal length. I've done a separate audio about it, but I'll talk about it more as well. So if you want to know about the ins and outs, what it means for your star sign and stuff, check out the separate audio. So Mercury semi-sextile to Jupiter allows us to listen to others. It brings opportunities for growth through networking and sharing ideas. And you know, it just promotes us learning and being more communicative, so great for writers and any marketing and sales and stuff like that as well. But negatively, it can make us overlook details or exaggerate facts, because overconfidence in communication can lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations, so we can more easily try or be prone to crossing other people's boundaries. So just try and work within people's boundaries, apologise if you break them, check all the facts, don't think you know it all right now as well. The best use of this energy is to engage in meaningful things, meaningful writing, conversations, seek advice from others, do research, you know, do stuff that's technical, intellectually stimulating as well, and anything, you know, that builds your skills. So great for all kinds of educational tasks as well. So for example, some of you may be giving a presentation at work or in another setting, and you may find that your ideas are well received by colleagues or the people you're talking to right now as well. And when the moon leaves via combustion, that, you know, we may feel more emotionally stable and psychologically and spiritually calm as well, and have more clarity in our decision making, and our relationships can benefit from the improved or the return of more emotional balance as well. But negatively, because we could have been in like more emotional when the moon was in via combustion, lingering emotions from these arguments may still be there, and so we have to, you know, we may have to deal with the repercussions of the things that we did when the moon's in via combustion. So the best use of this energy is to reflect on past emotional challenges, seek closure, move forward with a renewed sense of emotional well-being, journal, seek out support from loved ones or therapy, or do anything else that helps you to relax. The Sun square to Neptune supports us being more creative and focusing on spiritual growth and using our intuition. It encourages us exploring, you know, our imagination and dream work and stuff like that's good as well. And just digging deeper into our emotions and subconscious thoughts, but we may find ourselves more tuned to just artistic expression and plans right now. So just great for date nights and stuff, listening to music and things like that as well. But negatively, because, you know, all Neptune energy can make us run into our addictions, ignore red flags as well, so it can make us more confused, more illusional, and we can get lost or disconnected from reality. So it's essential to stay grounded and avoid making major decisions based solely on our intuition. Right now, we can explore our spirituality through meditation is the best use of this energy. Also being mindful and paying attention to our dreams, and it's the inner guidance that comes from our dreams or just from within as well. And also keeping a journal to keep a track of any artistic, creative or any other ideas that come, because you can just have an influx of ideas right now as well with the summer solstice as well. So yeah, if you don't normally journal, starting one or keeping one right now can really help you. So yeah, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. It does happen in the southern hemisphere as well, but it happens when we're having winter solstice. So it happens in December around the 20th or the 21st in the southern hemisphere. But anyway, it brings us more abundance, more vitality, allows us to make new beginnings, start reaping the rewards of the actions we started to make in the spring. So it's a high energy for, you know, personal growth and achievement over the next 3 months while in the summer, and it wants us to embrace all opportunities that come our way this summer for personal development, and to kind of just, you know, bask in the warmth of self-expression and creativity. So just be open to being creative, even if, you know, we're halfway through the year, you haven't done your New Year's resolutions, even the ones you may have set at the spring equinox. It's never too late to start again, you know, and to go forward and just try, even if you think, oh, I'm too old to do this and that. So, you know, this energy is about, you know, doing the things that you want to do. But negatively, it can make us more restless, we can be more emotionally intense, there can be more power struggles and conflicts as well that need to be resolved, that come up over the summer, because, you know, the heat can make us impulsive and more reckless, especially if we don't channel you know, our sexual energy productively, our motivation energy productively, So the best use of this energy is to start new things, connect with nature. Some of you may find yourself starting a new fitness routine, launching a new creative business idea, or continuing expanding your network, spending time outdoors to rejuvenate your spirits. This is why, a lot of us do spend more time outdoors in the spring and summer, especially in England, because, it's about the only time it's hot here. But yeah, a little joke there, which you'll get if, we always joke about the English weather here, but yeah. So yeah, on the 21st of June, the moon enters void of course at 5:08. Venus makes a quintile to Chiron at 9:05, and the moon enters Sagittarius at 1:49 p.m. as well. And Mercury makes a sextile to Mars at 5:23 as well. So Venus's quintile to Chiron sort of like allows us to heal emotional wounds and cultivate a deeper self-acceptance and love. There can be a tendency to dwell too much on past hurts or become overly sensitive to criticism, and the best use of this energy is to do things that promote self-care, creativity and nurturing relationships. When the moon enters Sagittarius, it can make us more optimistic and broaden our perspectives and open to adventure, but negatively it can add to the restlessness and impulsiveness of the other energies I've talked about this week. So the best use of this energy is to seek new experiences, learn new things, engage in interesting philosophical or intellectual or spiritual discussions, and expand your horizons, your perspective, your worldview. Be open to different cultures outside of the normal cultures and activities that you're normally interested in as well. Mercury's sextile to Mars allows us to be more mentally flexible, improves our communication skills and assertiveness in our decision making, but again it adds to us being argumentative, impatience in our decision making processes and conversations with others as well. So the best use of this energy is to channel it into productive conversations, brainstorming sessions, and do the things that require quick thinking and decisiveness as well. On the 22nd of June we have the full moon, so I've done a whole separate audio about that, and this happens at 2:08 a.m. the full moon, and it's a full moon in the constellation of Sagittarius as well. Mercury makes a semi-square to Uranus at 6:02 a.m. as well. Venus makes a semi-sextile to Jupiter at 10:57 a.m. as well, and the Sun makes a quincunx to Pluto at 1:01 p.m. as well. So Mercury semi-square to Uranus combines the communicative Mercury with the revolutionary energy of Uranus, so it can bring us ideas, we can think outside of the box, break free from conforming and living up to other people's expectations. It can bring us sudden breakthroughs in our thinking, but it can add to the unpredictability of the week, and we can also add to the challenges that we can experience in communication as well. So to make the most of this energy, stay open to new perspectives and embrace changes in your intellectual plans and expressions, and allow yourself to grow intellectually and break free from your intellectual chains. So Venus's semi-sextile to Jupiter is when Venus aligns in a harmonious aspect with the expansive Jupiter. It signifies a time of increased social harmony and happiness, and it can bring opportunities for growth in relationships and a sense of abundance in the matters of love and pleasure. But we have to be mindful not to overindulge or overspend during this period. To maximise the use of this energy, we have to focus on nurturing ourselves and our connections with other people and the ones that we love and like to spend time with as well, and just being open-minded to growing through our relationships as well. The Sun's quintile to Pluto is a challenging aspect between the Sun and Pluto. So positively, it allows us with our personal growth and empowerment through facing our inner shadows, but negatively, the Sun's quincunx to Pluto can also make us sort of like controlling, and we can have confrontations with other people, especially those in authority right now as well. So to use this energy effectively, we have to practice self-reflection and release the things that no longer serve us, and be open to change, and be open to accepting the transformative experiences that happen, rather than seeing them as obstacles. See them as things of, when things happen that don't go your way, or even if they do go your way, just whatever happens right now, keep in mind, the number one question of what do I need to learn from this? So yeah, by understanding the energies of this week, we can navigate our lives with greater awareness and make conscious choices to use astrological energies and other self-development tools, because as I keep on saying, this is just one to help us feel more empowered and use them to help us manage our spiritual, emotional and psychological stability as well. So yeah, that's it. That was the weekly scopes from the 16th to the 22nd of June. Take care and see you next time.